This is a preview of the tour of the Village of Cobleskill. This is where we begin, the corner of Union and Main at the parking lot. And we start right off the bat talking about a very late 18th century church and some of the interesting stories about that. And then we head east down Main Street. This is where we talk a lot about the colonial period, even where Cobleskill got its name from. Then we head down toward the Fort Du Bois marker, and from there it comes up the street, and this is a little different tour for us. This is a lot about the Gilded Age, which really came into being with the railroad here. So much of what you see is a result of the railroad coming to the village. The business district, these business blocks as they are called. We'll talk about those quite a bit as we walk down toward the park. And then when we come back up, there are several points of interest, one of them being the Hotel Augustine. We'll certainly talk quite a bit about that, and who the most famous person was who was ever there. But also, the reason why we do this at night is for one very specific reason. And that's the murder of the night watchman Matthew Wilson, which happened very close by to here, and this is where we end up. And that's best told when it's a bit dark. And in between, there's a lot of stories about the hotels in this area, that it was a thriving business district, unexpected stories about the earliest schools, and some of the prominent people who really brought this village to the appearance that you see it today. And that really happened around the turn of the 20th century. It really has not changed that much, at least not downtown business area. So this is where we end up, and hopefully we'll see you on one of these tours. It's here at the site of Fort Du Bois, where it's a Revolutionary War fort. We'll talk about why it was built, when it was built, and some of the events around this largely forgotten fort of the Schoharie district during the Revolution. And this is where we turn around and then head back up Main Street. That's where we begin our discussion about Captain Kellogg's artillery company that was involved in the War of 1812, and the gun house that's not far from here. And then we head toward the business district and center, and the Veterans Memorial Park. We head toward Veterans Memorial Park. Spent a fair amount of time in this area because we have a couple of iconic buildings here in the village, from Park Theater, and also the Bull's Head Inn, which is the oldest building in the village. Their stories are connected in unexpected ways, and we talk quite a bit about that and whether or not the Bull's Head Inn is haunted, and some of the other features of this park and how it was created. So in the park is this cannon that's been here just about as long as the park has been here. So if you ever drove by, looked at it and go, I wonder what that story is, well, you'll find out. And once we're done with the park, we head across the street, talk about the jail that's back there. You can barely see it from here, but it's there in the back. And also the early fire department for the village, where some of the fire apparatuses came from. And then we head back up toward the business district in the blocks.